Hello, students, and welcome to your Government Masterclass. Today, we are going to absolutely master the foundational concepts of state, nation, and society. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be ready to ace your exams. So, here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the building blocks, then define those core concepts you just have to know. After that, we'll dive into how to tell a state from a nation, and then the best part, we'll tackle some real exam questions. Sound good? Let's go. All right, let's get right into it. Now, you might be wondering, why are we starting here? Well, think of it like this. These concepts, state, nation, society, they're the absolute foundation for the entire government syllabus. If you don't get this part right, nothing else makes sense. So let's build a really strong foundation together. Okay, now it's time to get into the details. We're going to break down these 4 key terms. Pay really close attention here because I'm giving you the clear exam-focused definitions that examiners are looking for. First up, government. Now, the trick here is that government isn't just one thing. It actually has 3 different meanings you need to know. First, it's an institution, like the current administration. Second, it's a process, the actual day-to-day act of governing. And finally, of course, it's the subject we're all studying right now. Next up is the state. Now, look closely at the words used here. Politically organized, definite territory, and sovereignty. These aren't just random words. They're the official legal and political criteria. If something doesn't have all of these, well, it's just not a state. It's as simple as that. And here is your 4-point checklist for what makes a state. A state must have all 4 of these: people, land, a government, and supreme power. I can pretty much guarantee you're going to see a question on this, so please memorize these 4 features. Now, let's talk about society. This is a much broader concept. It's really all about people and how they interact. Families, communities, markets, that sort of thing. The key thing to remember is that a society can totally exist without a formal state. Just think about many pre-colonial Nigerian societies. They were absolutely societies, but they weren't states in the modern sense. And our last big definition is the nation. The key word you need to burn into your brain here is identity. You see, unlike a state, which is political and legal, a nation is all about a shared feeling of belonging. It's that deep connection people feel because of a common language, culture, or history. It's a thing of the heart and mind. Okay. Everyone, focus up. This section is so important. This is where so many students get confused, and it's a guaranteed source of exam questions. We need to be crystal clear on the difference between a state and a nation to avoid those common, easy-to-make mistakes. This table breaks it all down perfectly. Just look at that first row. A state is political and legal. A nation is cultural. A state has to have sovereignty, that's supreme power. But a nation, it just needs a common identity, that shared feeling. You see the difference? Nailing this is the key to unlocking so many exam questions. And here is the perfect example to use in your essays. Think about it. Nigeria is one single sovereign state. It has defined borders. It has a central government. But within that one state, we have hundreds of distinct nations. The Hausa nation, the Yoruba nation, the Igbo nation, and so many others. Each with its own incredible, unique cultural identity. One state, many nations. All right, now for the really fun part. Let's put all this knowledge to the test and see how these ideas actually show up on your exams. We're going to walk through some real past questions from WAEC, JAMB, and NECO. Okay, let's start with this one from WAEC back in 2020. It says, take a second. Which of our key terms is all about the function, the doing of things like making laws? And the correct answer is, of course, C, government. So why is that? Well, because the government is the actual machinery that performs these actions. A really common mistake is picking state. But remember, the state is the whole package. The people, the land, everything. The government is the specific part that does the work of governing. All right, next up, a question from JAMB. Let's look for the keywords here. Cultural group and common heritage. Right away, which of our definitions does that sound like? The answer has to be C, nation. It's a perfect fit. Remember what we said. The nation is all about that shared cultural identity. State is political. Government is functional. The key word cultural is the examiner's direct clue to you. And one more for good measure. This one's from NECO. The question asks for the instrument used for exercising power and managing affairs. So, what's the tool? What's the machinery that gets that job done? And the correct answer is B, government. This takes us right back to our very first definition. Government is the machinery, the instrument, the process for running the state. It's the tool used to control and administer. See how it all connects? Okay, let's bring it all home with your key takeaways. These are the final revision notes you need to really lock in this knowledge before you walk into that exam hall. Here they are, all 4 key definitions on one slide. Seriously, my best advice to you, make flashcards, write them out, test yourself. Don't just read. Make sure you can explain each one in your own words. And here is your secret weapon. For any question about the features of a state, all you have to do is remember these 4 letters. PTGS. Population, territory, government, and sovereignty. It's a super simple memory trick that will absolutely save you time and marks. And finally, please let's talk about the common traps. Watch out for these 3 mistakes. The number 1 mistake students make is mixing up nation and state. Just repeat it to yourself. State is political. Nation is cultural. And if you're writing an essay, always use specific Nigerian examples to show the examiner you really know your stuff. After going through all of this, you now have the tools you need. You've totally got this. Just keep practicing with these concepts, make them second nature, and you will be more than prepared for success. If you found this masterclass helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button, share it with your classmates, and of course, subscribe for more. And for thousands of practice questions, head over to our website, examkp.com. Keep up the amazing work.